What up, Dokkaners? We have official in-game confirmation that Resurrection F is coming up next. So for those of us, myself included, who thought it was going to be Trunks and Vegeta, we're sorry. But you know what? In all fairness, we're not sorry because everything pointed to that fact. Global Dokkan has just proven time and time again, it doesn't matter what's happened before. They will do whatever the hell they want. And this is once again proof of that. However, there is some empirical data to suggest that this was sort of in the books. This was going to be happening anyway. So we're going to take a trip back to year 6 and year 5 of Dokkan to see how this all played out, to make sense of what's happening now. But before we do, we are going to be going over the news for this stuff. And then I will be doing a Dragonstone count video coming up next after this video, following this, to talk about all the stones we could be getting from this upcoming celebration. Also, I do want to do an animation reaction right now, actually. So let me just cover up Twitter. Shout out to Twitter for being garbage and posting the most depressing stuff on the headlines on the right. I keep trying to hide them and it keeps popping up. So that's why you got to see this face instead. We are going to be watching the animations for the global version, which means probably the audio is going to be muddled and you're not going to hear much of it. We're still going to try it because I do like Resurrection F. I love the Vegeta from Resurrection F. So let's see how good this is. And hopefully it's good. Also, by the way, I do not accept the slander of me being Jocko. All right, first of all, his face is blue. My face is not blue. All right, I don't accept. So no Jocko. No Jocko talk, please. Although I do like that pose. That is a killer pose.
Let's both go all in. No holding anything back.
Hey, that's the 7-year scream. You're not fooling me. Recycling assets. Oi.
This is what it looks like to go beyond a Super Saiyan God.
That sounds really good.
Let's both do our best.
That sounds good. That sounded really good. You couldn't hear it, but it was good.
Hey, take her on.
We'll switch in a little while, okay?
What?
Still have some fight left in.
This has gone on long enough. You promised me we take turns.
Lip flapping. Yes. Yes.
I'm not soft like Kakarot. Say
What? Say your what? All right, let's check out two things. One, they totally recycled the 7-year LR scream, which was funny. So shout out. That is when God Goku goes Super Saiyan Blue. And then the lip flapping. So obviously this is a byproduct of the localization. When JP makes these animations, it is obviously built for JP, which means Global has to adapt. And clearly that does not take place here because Vegeta's lips are flapping well after he finishes talking. And I love that. I think that's so funny.
this has gone on long enough. You promised me we take turns.
Let's go. All right, so there you go. So let me know in the comments how you would rate that on the global side. Obviously, I know people who are fans of sub and not fans of dub are probably going to have low thoughts and opinions. That's fine. But I'm talking about you global people. Those of you who like to watch the dub, what would you rate this? I think actually it's pretty good. I think the voice acting is pretty good for this. You just couldn't hear it because classic, you know, global Dokkan being the L that they do with these animations, they never seem to understand how to mix it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. But now let's take a look at how this all played out in years past. So when I talk about the Gogeta celebration, I am talking about year 6. Year 6 is last year. So obviously this is where we want to be looking in terms of setting up precedent for upcoming celebrations. Looking right here, this is where we are, right? Dokkan Thank You Countdown. So this was the celebration that we got last year. Gogeta was part 1. You would think Janemba would be part 2 because physical Janemba LR was the part 2 for JP, but Global did not receive that. We randomly just received this banner instead. So this is what we were given last year. So with Gogeta having its own Dokkan Fest on November 3rd, we then fast forward to the Christmas celebration. Christmas part 1 is the double rates, and then Christmas part 2 actually gives us the Christmas banner, and Gogeta makes a comeback a month and a half after their original debut. So this is what Global had to look at in terms of past being prologue. However, we should have looked further just to cover all bases. So with that being said, let's now take a look at the year prior. So year 5, things played out very differently. So if we look at Dragon Ball Heroes, this is where we are. Dokkan Thank You right here. So this is the celebration. What? Gotenks and Gohan, why are they on the Dokkan Festival or the Dokkan Thank You banner? So let's take a look here. We had a bunch of random LRs sprinkled intermittently through part 1 and part 2, which shout out for those of you who actually summon on these. Shame. Anyway, during this part 1, we were given the dual Dokkan Festival for Gotenks and Bull. So these units released originally in April for JP with no corresponding part 2 LR, I believe. So this dual Dokkan Fest occupied part 1 of the thank you celebration. Part 2 was just a random bunch of LR banners. So yeah, hopefully you guys didn't summon. If you did, shame. There's nothing else here. There's just some easy A's and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now with that in mind, you would think that Gotenks would be coming back during the Christmas banner, right? Because just like with Gogeta, this is what should have happened with Gotenks. Let's take a look at the Christmas celebration back in year 5. Snowy Miracle Christmas. Okay, so this is the one. Part 1 gave us the double rates, so we're on track. Okay. Part 2, obviously the 5-year LRs would make their return in the coin shop, which it does happen, but whoa, look at that. There is no Gotenks. Whoa, what happened? So this is what happened. We have Universe 7, Goku and Vegeta Bleu, and that's because they popped up even later than the Trunks and Vegeta would have popped up. They showed up 20 days in their own Dokkan Festival banner. They show up 20 days before they once again reappear in the Christmas banner. So this is how it played out during year 5. The thank you celebration was somebody different. The Christmas banner was somebody different. And the turnaround between that different someone and their own Dokkan Fest is less than a month. So this could potentially be what happens this year. So this should put into perspective how things could be shaping up in 2022. This is what I think is going to be happening, but again, we won't know until it happens because Global Dokkan has proven that they are unpredictable and ridiculous. So now with this adjustment, Thank You Celebration Part 1 will be November 3rd and December 2nd-ish. It's going to be Resurrection F. Part 2, I think it's going to be Golden Frieza because I don't think they can afford to shift 2 LR banners outside of their respective release windows. I think because Golden Frieza and Goku Blue have been out for so long and they should have been here sooner, this is just, they're both going to be dropping. But you know what? We could see. This is going to be part 2. Then Dragon Ball Heroes in mid-November. Then pre-holiday celebration will be Trunks and Vegeta, with the actual Christmas celebration then following with a random banner in the part 1, and then part 2, Christmas celebration, Trunks and Vegeta come back along with the 7-year LRs. So this still preserves the integrity of this asset right here that was made by JP. They don't have to change much other than the characters to translate it to global, and that's about it. So I think that's how it's going to play out, with the Fusion Zamasu still being pushed to the new year. And Kid Goku having a corresponding part 2 being Fusion Zamasu kind of makes sense because there was no part 2 for Kid Goku celebration. So giving this celebration a part 2 would make a lot more sense. So I think this is now how it's going to be playing out on the global side of the game. I know I keep changing it, but like I said, nothing is confirmed until it's confirmed. I've said this a lot in the past. Recently, I haven't so much because I really thought it was going to be Trunks and Vegeta, but alas, we were all wrong. So this is how it's all going to be shaping up. Now you understand why. Now you understand how things played out in the past. Will this change your perspective on how you're going to be summoning on these different banners? Are you still going to be skipping the ones that you want to skip? Does this give you a little bit more of an opportunity to summon and indulge on some of the banners that you want to moving forward? Or are you still waiting to find out where the heck this guy pops in? Because all of this is cool. You know, it makes sense. It all falls into place. But when this guy shows up, all hell is going to break loose. So this is going to be a very interesting finish to the new year. There you have it, folks. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this news? What do you guys think about how this is all playing out? Were you one of those few people who actually thought that Resurrection F could be coming up next? Or were you also stumped by the Trunks and Vegeta switch up? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.